Is the XS Max worth it in 2022? Let's take a review.
Yo, what is up, All-Around Antics gang? It's your boy Smoke. Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about the XS Max, giving it a little review, going over if it's worth it in 2022, who are its competitors, and what are the specs of this device. So without any further ado, let's get up into it. Alright, so I've whipped up this little spec sheet right here, and we're going to start with general. For the general specs of this device, the protections are dustproof, splashproof, and waterproof. Now when you think waterproof, you're like, oh, I could just jump inside the pool in my phone, I can go to the beach with my phone. What does waterproof really mean? Waterproof in this case means that it can survive a dunk up to 2 meters, which is 6.5 feet of water, for up to 30 minutes compared to the 1 meter IP67 rating on the previous models. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of understanding about the waterproof. For the size of this device, the width is 3 inches, the depth is 0.3 inches, the height is 6.2 inches, and the weight of this device is 7.34 ounces. The body material is made out of glass and stainless steel. That can be seen in the photos right here. Alright, so hopefully seeing that gives you a good understanding of what the body kind of looks like. For the sensors, it's got an accelerometer, ambient light sensor, proximity sensor, 3-axis gyro sensor, a digital compass, and a barometer. This phone was released in September of 2018, but stay tuned because I have a very interesting fact for you guys. On to the processor. The processor chip is an A12 Bionic chip, and it is a 6-core for its processor quantity, and the architecture of this device is a 64-bit. Next, we're going to take a look at security. They do not feature a home button on these devices, therefore you only have Face ID, or what we've seen over the years with iPhone is the passcode. For storage, you have the capacity options of 64 gigabytes, 128 gigabytes, 256 gigabytes, 500 gigabytes, and 512 gigabytes. In the previous video I released reviewing PlugTech as a reseller, I had the 256 gigabyte model, but choose your storage how you see fit if this is the device you plan on going for. Now on the display. The type of display for this device is an OLED display. The technology of this device is a Super Retina HD. The size of your display is 6.5 inches. The resolution is 2688 by 1242 pixels, and the pixel density is 458 ppi. It does feature HDR10. The refresh rate on this device is 120 Hz. The protections on your display is fingerprint resistant and oleophobic coating. And the features of your display is True Tone display, wide color display, which is the P3. Now on to battery. The type of battery inside this device is a lithium-ion battery. Its charging technology is Apple fast charging technology. It features wireless charging. You can get talk time for up to 1500 minutes or 1500. And for those who like just a little more detail about it, the battery mAh is 3174. Alright, so now that we're on to the camera section, I've added a few of the main easy to understand specs, and I will dive deeper into the more in-depth specs here in just a second. But for the front camera, we have a 7 megapixel, back camera is 12 megapixel, and the back camera types are a telephoto lens and a wide angle lens. So for the front camera, the lens aperture is f/2.2, its HDR mode is Smart HDR, the special effects are natural, studio, contour stage, and stage mono. For face detection of your front camera, you have body and face detection along with facial recognition. The camera modes feature burst mode, timer mode, live photos, portrait mode with advanced bokeh and depth control, and portrait lighting. The video resolutions from your front camera are 1920 by 1080, which is 1080p at 30 fps, or 1920 by 1080p at 60 fps. The light source is Retina Flash, and your features are FaceTime HD camera, exposure control, auto image stabilization, Animoji, Memoji, True Depth camera, extended dynamic range for video, and cinematic video stabilization. The sensor type is BSI. For the second front camera, your functions are infrared camera for Face ID, and for the features, it's flood illuminator and dot projector. For your second camera, like said, your sensor resolution is 12 megapixels. This lens type is your telephoto lens, and your lens aperture is f/2.4, and the functions are capture depth information. For your main camera, which is a dual OIS, optical image stabilization. For the other camera, dual IOS, which is optical image stabilization. The lens type is a wide angle lens. Your lens aperture is f/1.8. Your lens construction is a 6 element. Your focus adjustment is automatic. Your optical zoom is 2 times. Your digital zoom is 10 times. The camera modes feature burst mode, panorama, timer mode, low light shots, tap to focus, live photos, portrait mode with advanced bokeh and depth control, portrait lighting, wide color capture for photos and live videos. For face detection, it's got body and face detection. Light source is True Tone Quad LED flash. And here's your list of video resolutions. You got 1920 by 1080p at 30 fps, 1920 by 1080p at 60 fps, 1280 by 720 at 30 fps. You have slow-mo video, which is at 1920 by 1080p at 120 fps. You have a 3840 by 2160, which is 4K at 30 fps. You have a 3840 by 2160 at 60 fps. You have a 3840 by 2160 at 24 fps. You have a slow mode video, which is in 1080p at about 240 fps. For your features, you have sapphire, crystal lens cover, cinematic video stabilization, focus pixels, auto image stabilization, playback zoom, hybrid IR filter, exposure control, geotagging, LTM, which is local tone mapping, stereo recording, continuous autofocus video, 8 megapixel still photos recording 4K, time-lapse video with stabilization, slow sync, advanced red eye correction, optical image stabilization for video, and extended dynamic range for video. And those were the in-depth details on the cameras.
And now that we've gotten the specs out of the way, be sure to comment down below what you guys think about the specs and how the phone sounds so far. Fun fact, a year after being released in September of 2018, September 10th of 2019, they actually discontinued the XS and the XS Max. They discontinued these devices because the XR was kept around alongside the iPhone 11, Apple's new, cheaper iPhone models. So now that we've got the specs and the fun facts out of the way, I've lined up 2 competitors for the XS Max. First competitor is the iPhone 11, whopping at around $491 off Apple's website. In the second competitor is the iPhone SE 2022. I own 2 of the 2020 models and love the phones. And the newer model, the 2022 version, they have the A15 Bionic chip, which is in the iPhone 13, and they also feature 5G. I marked these 2 as competitors because they are around the same price as this device or have similar specs as this device. Do be in mind that the price will vary depending on if you get them from Apple or if you get them from a refurbished phone seller such as PlugTech or Back Market. Overall, I think it's a great phone. It was worth the money, it was worth the experience for me. If you are somebody who wants to be a little conservative, then this may be the device for you. If you're somebody who wants to be a little conservative but still have a device that kind of packs a punch and has very unique features, then this is the phone for you. If you're somebody who is in the mid-tier, can fork out a few extra dollars and don't mind the smaller screen, go for the iPhone SE 2022. And if you're one of the high rollers, go for the iPhone 11. All of these devices are packed with features and vary in different ways between devices, but that is for a whole nother video. If you guys want another video such as that, be sure to let me know down below. Anyways, my opinion on the devices is very unique. I've noticed that the XR, 8, SE all have a similar look to them. I've noticed that the 11, 12, 13s all have a similar look to them. But what stands out the most is this device doesn't look like them or have the same style. So it's a very unique phone, a very crazy backstory to it. I just think it's overall a unique device. And if anything that's been covered so far in this video has piqued your interest, then this might just be the device for you. The only pros and cons I can think about of this device are the big screen. If you like big screens, that's a pro. If you do not like big screens, that is a con. Try to go for maybe the X version if you're still looking for the X or XS Max. And that leads us to ask, should you buy it? Well, ultimately, at the end of the day, it is your choice on what you want to buy. There's a variety of options. I encourage you not to just go with my word, but to check out some other creators' videos and people who compare devices or go in depth about devices, as that can really help you with your search as well. But if you like anything you've heard so far, definitely give the X or XS Max a try. It's a very dope phone. I like it. Don't mind it. With that being said, that is all I got covered for this video. I've been working for like 2 days on it. Still a little new to all this, so I appreciate everybody that supports or takes that into consideration / understanding. I also want to thank anybody who likes the video. It helps the algorithm. It helps me when I'm focused on my analytics. I can see what does well, what intrigues my audience more, and what you guys want to see. Thank you to everybody who comments and engages. It also helps with the algorithm, and it helps me understand my audience a little bit more. It helps me get to know you guys and lets me know what you guys want to see. And thank you to everybody who subscribes. That just gets us one step closer to my goal of 50 subscribers. And with that being said, if there's anything that you guys want to see, via it be an unboxing, a tutorial, need help with, be sure to just comment down below. And until next time, smokes out.